In 1992, a woman named Jess lived alone in a small house on a quiet street. Across from her lived Mr. Barksdale, and Jess didn't like him. He never threatened her or said anything unkind, but he seemed to always pay too close attention. He knew when Jess came home late, when she forgot to close her garage. Once, he'd even mentioned that she left her upstairs bedroom window open while she was at work. Could be that he was just a nosy neighbor, but Jess found him downright creepy. So, when her telephone rang one night and Mr. Barksdale was on the other end, she wasn't exactly happy to hear from him, especially when the first thing he asked was, "You're downstairs, right?" Jess asked him why he wanted to know. Barksdale didn't answer. He just told her to stay downstairs. Jess became upset. She asked if he'd been watching her. He said no, and then, "Don't close the curtains." That made things considerably worse because Barksdale had a clear view into her living room from his. Jess said she was hanging up. "Don't. I just want you to keep talking to me." She told him that she was going to call the police. Then Barksdale said something she wasn't expecting. "Good." Then he repeated the same thing. "Stay downstairs, don't close the curtains, and don't hang up." Jess finally lost her patience. She told Barksdale she was going upstairs, and if he called her again, the police would be coming for whatever game he thought he was playing. And that's when Barksdale shouted, "No." Jess stopped. For several seconds, neither of them said anything. Then they heard it. Click. Jess had two phones in her house, the one in her hand and the one beside her bed upstairs. Someone had just hung up the bedroom extension. That's when Barksdale finally explained. While getting ready for bed, he looked out his window. There was someone standing in her bedroom. Barksdale assumed she had company, until he saw Jess walk through her living room downstairs. Barksdale called to warn her, but before he could say why, someone picked up the bedroom extension. Someone was upstairs, listening. So he couldn't tell Jess what he'd seen, not without telling the person upstairs, too. But now they'd hung up, and Barksdale had no idea where they were. He yelled for Jess to get out of the house. The back door was only a few steps away. Barksdale told her not to look toward the staircase, to just open the door and run to his house. So she ran, out the door, around the side of her house and across the street. Barksdale was standing in the doorway, waiting for her. She was almost there when he suddenly stopped looking at Jess. His eyes moved past her toward the second floor of her house, and whatever he saw there made the color drain from his face. Jess started to turn around. Barksdale told her not to, and this time she listened.